Shayana, and I am back with part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, this is your sign to go check it out. Me and Marcus, we went to the tattoo shop and I got a tattoo live while interviewing him. Yes, while interviewing him. And let me tell y'all something. I didn't chicken out, I didn't cry. I sat there and embraced pain. I learned a lot from him and it was amazing. So y'all go check it out, leave a like, leave a comment. But what we're gonna do today is we're gonna be getting into part 2 of the interview. We're gonna be learning more about Marcus and more about mindset and a lot of different topics. Evolving, semen reduction, and more. So y'all stay tuned for the video. Nevertheless, let's get into the video. Yeah.
Y'all seen it though. Y'all vibing with it. I know y'all vibing with it. Y'all gotta let me know though. Don't lie to me either. Let me know for real. But yeah, like for someone that want to do that, like, you know, what would you suggest them to do and like start as far as like physically?
Okay. So first thing I would recommend is just having some type of artistic background. You know what I mean? Like being able to draw, being able to, you know, work with coloring and painting something, like especially drawing though. Because if you look at tattooing, all it is art in using a different medium. So it's drawing just with a different medium. You know what I mean by medium?
No.
No. Okay, so like, you know, in art you got different mediums. A medium could be a pencil or a crayon.
Tools.
Yeah, basically tools or a toothbrush. So instead of using a pencil, you're using a tattoo machine. And you're just like, you're really transferring your artistic abilities with drawing over to tattooing on skin. So I recommend doing that. You know, practice drawing a lot. Draw your ass off, and that's something that I need to do more is draw. You know what I mean? Because it helps so much when you're tattooing, you're just transferring it over. And basically how I started, my dad ordered me a tattoo machine. You know, he ordered me a tattoo kit off of Amazon. He asked me, did I want to start tattooing? You know, he said he just saw it in me. He was like, he told me like he was high as hell watching Ink Master, and just like the thought just came, it just shot into his head. Like somebody just shot the thought into his head, like Marcus can do this. You know what I mean? And that's why he said like tattooing chose me type shit. That's like because it was just like, you know, a thought that came out of nowhere. But yeah, you gotta start somewhere. You know, I had like a $50 tattoo kit off Amazon. You gotta start somewhere.
So what were you tattooing people your first time?
So yeah. So this is how I learned. How I learned was, so the tattoo kit, it came with a machine. I had to put the machine together. It came with like some inks, and it came with like fake tattoo skin, like 2 sheets. So I practiced on that. Tattoo skin is like, it's not the same at all when it comes to tattooing real skin. It's not the same. Tattoo skin, it definitely helps you just get comfortable using the machine, get comfortable pulling lines, get comfortable shading, even though it's not the same. You can use that, and you can use oranges, grapefruits. You know what I mean? You just
Which one is more closer?
Grapefruit, probably closer. Just the skin of it. You can use cantaloupe too, cantaloupe skin. But yeah, just any of those, you know, and just put designs on it, put a stencil on it, and just trace it. You know, just get used to the depth of the machine. You know, all that, like, and YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah. Thank you, YouTube, for being so good to us. I have learned so much from YouTube. So thank you.
YouTube. YouTube. That's how I learned. YouTube. You know, just watching YouTube videos, studying YouTube videos, how to tattoo for beginners.
Yeah.
How to shade, how to pull nice clean lines for beginners. Tattooing, like, that's in YouTube. You know, you go on YouTube, you learn and you apply that shit, and you really practice. And, you know, from there you just keep, and this is the main thing with, if you want to, you know, become a tattoo artist, is just like being consistent with it. Like, you have to be consistent with it, and that's in anything you do. You know what I mean? That's how you grow. You be consistent, you keep doing it, and over time, you know, you get a lot of results. You feel me? And you really start to step into your power, whatever you're doing. And just staying optimistic, having a vision. You know what I mean? You gotta have a vision. You gotta have a goal. Like, whenever I first started, when I was like 17, I wrote down in my journal, I said, before I'm 21, I will be tattooing in a tattoo shop and I will have a tattoo license. 19, and it happened. You know what I mean? So like, you gotta have that vision. You write that shit down and you take steps to it. Like that shit's gonna happen. It's going to. You gotta have a vision. You gotta be optimistic and just take control of your life. Take control of your reality, and that shit gonna happen. That shit gonna happen, and yeah, just learn. You feel me? You can always learn from someone. Like learning, just learning from people. Um, reaching out to people. You know what I mean? Artists that's bigger than you that might be in your city, you feel me? You want to goddamn work under them. Like that's what I did. Shout out to Joe, Tat Your Face on Instagram. He gave me like an opportunity to work in a tattoo shop just before I'm at the shop now.
Oh.
But like he did this one. He did this one on me.
Chosen one.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he was tattooing at his house at this moment. But then he got like a shop and everything. And I just asked him like, can I seen him at an art convention uptown. And I asked him like, can I work under you? Because I seen he was opening up a shop. I'm like, can I work up underneath you, learn from you and stuff? Mm-hmm. And he let me do it. And you know what I mean? And that kind of put me in the door. And like from there, I was really like, I was tattooing in the shop. I wasn't like an actual like official tattoo artist. I didn't have a license or anything, but you know, I was, you feel me? And
I learned energy.
Yeah, just in that energy of being in the shop, being around artists, and I learned a lot from that opportunity. And then yeah, so you gotta show people that you really want that shit. You gotta show people that you really want to do it, and like, and that's what he said. Like when I came up to him, he could tell like, I was serious. He like he usually don't even really be like fucking with people like that, but like you see, he felt my energy. He like, okay, this little nigga really trying to do something, so he let me do it. You know what I mean? And then after that little situation was over, I went. I'm trying to get an apprenticeship. And this is the biggest step for me getting like an actual apprenticeship because that's what you really learn. Like when you're at the house tattooing, you teaching yourself really. You learning off YouTube, yeah, but you're teaching yourself basically. So you form a lot of like bad habits. Like you like technique wise, the way you shade, the way you pull lines, every down from sanitary wise, like you form a lot of bad habits. So getting an apprenticeship, it helps you break those bad habits because you're working around artists that like, you have an actual mentor. Like I have an actual mentor. Shout out to Greg. That's my mentor. You know what I mean? Like she just taught me a lot, taught me a lot. And I'm a whole totally different artist than I was. Like when I first got my apprenticeship while I was tattooing at the house, you feel me? And that's another thing, don't think you hot shit. You know what I mean? You always can grow, you always can do better. Don't get too big of a head. Even though I'm really not the type to get a big head, like I'm pretty chill and humble. But just don't, you always can learn, you know what I mean? Like I thought I was good going into getting that apprenticeship, but like now I'm way, way, way better than I was. And I was only like 7 months ago, you know what I mean? So if you're really serious about tattooing, get a apprenticeship. That's gonna take you to the next level. And that really gets your foot in the door. Because if I would have never got that apprenticeship, you feel me, I wouldn't be tattooing full time at the shop right now. You know what I mean? So you just gotta take a step, take sacrifices. Like I pay a lot of money for that apprenticeship, but like that shit comes back. So don't like when it comes to money, fuck money. You gotta invest in yourself, like with equipment, all that. You gotta invest, and that shit gonna come back.
All that. So before you started meditating, did you have any like bad habits?
Bad habits. Yes, I did. Yeah. I had a lot of bad habits. Really, just before I found myself, like before I started to get on a path of bettering myself, I had a lot of bad habits, and like those bad habits still kind of linger in a way. You know what I mean? Like we have bad habits. Like that's the challenge for us as humans. It's just like, you feel me, getting rid of those bad habits and turning them into good habits. But it's way easier said than done. You know what I mean? So I was smoking a lot. And I was addicted to porn, watching porn videos. And this started for me when I was young, very young, like fourth grade type shit. And it's like it's the world that we live in. Like it's so much shit. Like it's too much. You know what I mean? And
it's sex, money, drugs.
Yeah, and they just throw that out there like for us to see, and it's so easy. It's so easy to access. Like I was in fourth grade with my big cousin. I ain't gonna say his name, but I was in fourth grade with my big cousin, and he was like my big cousin. I think he's like 22 now, so he a few years older than me. But like whenever like my grandma, and my mom would go home, we'd be on the computer watching porn videos, like you feel me, and like since like I was just doing it, like and it's looked at in the world, it's looked at as normal to watch porn, like you feel me?
It's not normal.
Why is it not normal?
Yeah.
I don't know. You tell me. You watching two motherfuckers on the screen having sex, and you at home, and you on the screen watching two niggas having sex, watching two niggas go crazy. That's not normal.
So I don't feel like it's not normal.
It's not wrong with being horny. Hell
So
no.
what's wrong with watching porn?
Because porn is it's not real. Porn is artificial. And it does a lot to your mind. It does a lot to the way you see actual sex. You know what I mean? You watching porn all the time, and when you get into real sex, you so used to porn, you so used to watching porn, you can't even really get hard for real. You can't even really get like aroused because you're so used to porn, and it just like it conditions. It does a lot to you, man. Like I'll just get into what it did to me. Like I struggle with that. When I used to watch porn a lot, I remember one time I was about to get some cat and I couldn't get hard. Like my shit was not getting hard. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm watching too much damn porn.
So
And
how do you get better from that?
how do you heal from it? Um, it's a lot. It's a lot to heal from it, but
I got a lot of questions.
yeah.
Do it affect your mind?
Does it affect your mind?
Yeah.
Yes, it does affect your mind. It affects the way it affects your dopamine, definitely. Because when you're watching porn, it's just dopamine. It's dopamine. It's like it's a lot of dopamine being released, and it kills your dopamine receptors. It damages the way you receive dopamine. Because you look at dopamine, it's a reward system. Like our brain has a reward system in it. So like when you eat candy, you eat a donut, you get dopamine. You feel me? When you watch porn, it's like it's intensified. So like you're just damaging your motivation, all that shit, and like yeah, it leads to a lot of problems. Like you know what I mean? You get around people and you feel me? Like I would be like that's another reason why I was so anxious and had anxiety because I was watching porn a lot and like I was shameful of that. So when you're around people, that energy comes out. Like that's what I'm learning too. Like
What you mean?
that shameful energy. You know what I mean? That energy is like you have a lot of shame, so it's like it's hard to be your authentic self because you kind of holding on to something. You know what I mean? That's why I was like very anxious and shy, and you feel me, not wanting to talk for real. But where was I at? We lost, kind of lost.
Um, how'd you feel?
How did I heal from it? Okay, I'm gonna get into like a couple more problems that it causes, and just go to how I healed from it. So another thing that porn does to us is it demasculates us. Demasculates us.
Takes away your masculine
Yes, yes, takes away your masculine energy because you look at porn, most of the time niggas is they being they meat and they busting nuts. And busting nuts, you doing that all the time, you're demasculating yourself because your semen is your raw sexual energy. That is your masculine energy as a man. That is your power. As a man, that is my superpower. You know what I mean? So if I'm releasing that shit every fucking day, I'm draining myself. I'm draining my sexual energy, and I'm just like I'm depleting myself. And I feel like as a man, sexual discipline, and that's what separates me from most men. Is most men, they don't have sexual discipline. And even though I struggle with porn a lot, like it's been a rocky ass road. You feel me? I'm still healing from that shit right now as we speak. But I have sexual discipline. Like I have sexual discipline. You know what I mean? Like the first time I ever discovered and like discovering semen retention, the practice of holding your sexual energy, holding your semen. You can really like I said, it's a power. It's powerful. The semen that we hold, it creates life. It creates a whole child.
Ooh, so if you always like releasing, does your like body count go down?
Yeah, like your sperm cells, like they deplenish, and just like, you feel me, your libido, your testosterone, like it's just not, you're killing yourself.
Wow.
Yeah, like you literally are lowering your lifespan by constantly releasing your seed. You're killing yourself. And that's what most, you feel me, most men, they don't know that. And like, when you are able to tap into that energy, and instead of releasing it all the time, you are putting it into, so you keeping that energy within yourself, and you taking that to go work out, you taking that to go create something beautiful, you taking that energy and actually having sex with a partner, and actually having real sex and creating a beautiful space, and you know what I mean, manifesting with it.
One more thing, I'm so
Mhm.
sorry.
Mhm.
They said sex keep you young.
Mhm.
So does sex kill you? Because
Nah.
I'm confused now. Because like if you said like if you release it, that means you killing yourself.
Right.
When you have sex with a partner, they say that keep you young, but technically you're still killing yourself because you're releasing.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna clear it up. Okay, so releasing constantly all the time, that's when you're depleting yourself. But like, practicing semen retention, um, the thing is, and this is what I'm learning now, is to, be the master of my sexual energy. So I'm going into sex, and most men, they don't have no control over their release, their orgasm. They have no control. It happens when it happens. And that's what I struggle with a long time from porn, is because, like I said, when you watching porn, it conditions your brain. It trains your, like, my body was conditioned to release fast, because I'm watching porn, I'm beating my meat. And in like 2 minutes, I'm done. You know what I mean? And doing that over years, it conditions my body to be like that. It literally wires my subconscious mind in my body to do that. So now when I go into real sex, 2 minutes, I'm done. You know what I mean? And that's what I struggle with. Like, in that's what I had to heal from, because that was like a big ass insecurity for me. You know what I mean? And like, so when you step into the power, become like a sexual alchemist, learning your sexual body, learning your energy, you learn how to control your sexual energy. You learn how to control your levels of arousal and control your orgasm. So now you can go into sex, and you can be having sex for like 2 hours, because you have control over it.
Wow.
Yeah, you have control over it, instead of releasing that energy at the end. Instead of releasing that energy while you're having sex, you're breathing deeply. You're breathing that energy circulating. We have something called a microcosmic orbit, and it's like it's in our body, in the torso, and you can orbit energy, and it's orbit. Instead of releasing that, you're kind of you're breathing, and you're breathing that energy through this microcosmic orbit, and you're having like very powerful, very, very, very powerful sex. Not because most people, they don't have sex for real, they just fucking, and that's like, it's like a fuck culture. Everybody just want to fuck.
Yeah.
That's it. And you feel me? I'm not with that. You know what I mean? Hell no, I'm not with that. Like, I'm not gonna just be out here fucking random females, like, because sex is powerful. Sexual energy exchange, that's what sex is. So like, I can't meet a girl, say I go to a bar, go to a party or some shit. I meet a girl, she might look good, she might have a fat ass, she might have some big titties, she might have a pretty face.
I'm sorry.
But
to me,
yeah,
that
yeah.
is just like if a guy does that, they have no respect.
No respect. You have no self respect. You have no value. You know what I mean? And that's what niggas do. And niggas, they see a female, and the first thing is, okay, how am I finna fuck? How am I gonna fuck her? How am I gonna get her in bed? But it's like, I don't know you. I don't know your spirit. I don't know your soul. I don't know what type of energy, what type of demons you might be carrying. So let's say I got down, end up fucking, we fuck, and now my life is fucked up. You feel me? I wake up the next day and I'm feeling shitty, shit just going wrong. I'm scared of that happening. That's why you feel me? I'm not with all that. You feel me? I'd rather just find, you feel me, have one person to have a real connection, and then just build from there type shit. You know what I mean? I'm not with all that, because it's just not my lifestyle. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this: are you like single or in a relationship?
So I'm like, I guess I'm in a stage of like transferring into a relationship. I don't really like, where would you say, you talking to someone, y'all vibe, y'all got a good connection. You know what I mean? Where would you say, like, is there like a point where does it just happen? Like, the relationship, does it just naturally flow into the relationship? Or is it like, okay, we get to a point. Let's like, you feel me? We together. We
I
yeah.
feel like that's something that y'all kind of come up with, however she dreams of it happening, or however you guys kind of come up with that. But if the vibe and the connection is there,
Right.
and what's understood, it don't have to be explained.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, do you like believe in attachment?
In like relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, attachment is very big. You know what I mean? And
So you
like,
believe that you're supposed to be attached to your partner?
hell no.
Yeah.
Hell nah. Nah, that's not good. It's not good to be attached. You know what I mean? But like yeah, like I said, I'm kind of moving into a relationship. But like before this, I was single for like, I haven't had a girlfriend in like 3, almost 4 years type shit. So I spent a lot of time by myself and just releasing a lot. You know, like from that past relationship, just releasing a lot, healing myself, and like, you know, now, and I think that's an important stage because people just relationship, how they hop to relationship because they're attached to that feeling of being loved,
Yeah.
or being, you
Know
know what I mean?
Relationship, they love the feeling that they get from it.
Exactly, they're attached to it, and I think. I feel you. But like, spending a lot of time alone is very important because you get to, in that state, in that time alone, you get to really like know yourself and understand yourself more, understand your values. You start to find your true worth, and like, what is it that you really want in a partner? What is it that you don't want in a partner? Most people, they don't even know that. You know what I mean? So that's very important to find out. And loving yourself, spending that time, taking that time to really find love within you, because like without that, you know what I mean, you're just gonna be hopping from relationship to relationship looking for love because you don't know how to do it to yourself. And once you love yourself, it's like you don't need no one else. Like, I want, you know what I mean, I want
we humans, like,
right.
we're designed to have social interactions, especially it's magical. It's nice to have someone that you can say, this is my person, like,
Exactly.
in my yin to my yang, you know?
Exactly.
So it's always good to have that, but desiring it when you feel incomplete is selfish. So to be able to know what you do need in your life is dating responsibly.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
So do you have any advice you want to give anyone out in the audience?
So like, what's happening advice? Like relationship advice?
Anything that you think they need to hear right now today?
Shit. Life gonna get rocky. You feel me? Life gonna get a little tough. It's gonna be times where you just like, you don't really wanna keep going, you wanna quit type shit, but like that's just life, you know what I mean? What I'm really realizing, life is just ups and downs. It's a lot. It's a lot of ups and downs. And like, you gotta, when you in them low points, you feel me, you gotta just see that vision of yourself getting out and being better, because every time you fall down, every time you fall off, when you come back, when you bounce back, you like 10 times stronger type shit. You always evolving. So all just continue to evolve, like every day try to be a better version of yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like evolve. Like evolve. If you're not evolving, what are you doing? If you're not trying to be better, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Growth. I'm big on growth. So just, you feel me, always grow. Always grow until you in the dirt, just grow. You know what I mean? And stay true to yourself. Stay true to you.